All right. Welcome to On The Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. Today we're here with Big O. How y'all doing today? Coach Evan Hearn.
Mavs on top.
And head coach, athletic director, Petrolia, Mr. Brad Blassingame.
Hello.
Appreciate you coming in, Coach.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. So what we're doing here, we got a little mini series that we started. It's just previewing 940 football. You know, you got the newspapers, you got the Facebook or, news media articles, you got magazines that say everything that's what's going to happen with you guys and your football programs. But Coach Evan Hearn kind of came up with an idea of, hey, let's get the head coaches in here. Who better of a source to tell us about your football program than the head coach?
Right.
So, again, we appreciate you coming in. I don't think Petrolia is that far. It's not too far of a drive, is it?
No, it's not too far. Probably about from here, probably about a little less than 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And like I said, we appreciate you coming in. We don't have the means to get out to every every sideline, so you're here on our sideline.
You bet. Yeah, it's a sweet setup y'all got in here.
Yep. Thank you. So we'll go ahead and turn it over to Coach Evan Hearn, and he'll start with the questions.
Okay.
Coach, as always, I open up. I appreciate the coaches for coming, so thank you for coming, being a part of On The Sideline, giving us your inside take of you guys upcoming year in Petrolia. So we'll get into your move from Holiday, but let's talk about you and give us an introduction about yourself.
Yeah, so this will be my 13th year of coaching. I spent my first 5 years at Petrolia working for Byron Gravitt over there, and then luckily for there, landed in Holiday. Got to work for the famous Coach Frank Johnson, and got to work with Coach Kyle Tucker on the defensive side over there. So this will be starting my 13th year. I'm excited to be back into the Petrolia community. We loved it when we were there before. Just a good blue-collar, God-fearing community, and to get my kids back over there, and we're excited about it.
So you said you were at Petrolia when you first started. What was it about Petrolia that you wanted to be the head coach of those guys?
Yeah, like I said before, it's the community itself. It's a little different because Petrolia itself is tiny, but there's 5 little surrounding areas that actually make up the school. But you still get that community feel. You get that small town feel. I grew up in Olney, Texas, and so I knew coaching-wise I wanted to be in a small town. And so being able to be familiar with the community there, be familiar with people who are already working at the school, to be familiar with a lot of the parents that were still around that now little brothers and little sisters are coming through from the ones that I coached before, was a big part for me to be familiar with it already, and made me comfortable in trying to make it back there.
And so I remember reading an article about about you when you took the job, and you mentioned even though you were a head baseball coach, you always wanted to be a football coach in AD. Right. Can you speak more about that? Yeah.
I mean, just going through it, when I first started, my very first year at Petrolia, I didn't even coach baseball. Mm-hmm. I've always loved baseball. I always wanted to coach baseball. And then the opportunity presented itself for me to take over the baseball job in Petrolia, and then it just kind of went from there. The opportunity came open again at Holiday, and I'm very thankful to be able to do that. I loved coaching baseball. But setting out, at the start of my career, my goal was to be a head football coach. And luckily for me, I was able to work for some great defensive minds like Coach Gravitt and Coach Johnson and Coach Tucker to allow me to get this opportunity with Petrolia and lead a program.
So you said, you mentioned the defensive minds. Mm-hmm. I'll just go ahead and ask now, are you consider yourself more of an offensive minded coach or a defensive minded coach?
No, I've always been on the defensive side. I've always been defensive minded. That's the side I wanted to be on, and luckily Coach Gravitt let me take that over early in my career and give me a lot of experience with that. And same with Coach Tucker at Holiday. Really took me under his wing and taught me a lot of ins and outs of a successful defense. So
So moving into Petrolia, did you hire anybody, or are you going to be calling plays, or what's
No, I'm just on the defensive side. I was
okay.
able to hire Coach Wynn, who was also at Holiday. He was the girls basketball coach there. I got him over to come be our offensive coordinator. His background in what he's done and the people he's learned from at Holiday is really what I wanted to establish at Petrolia. So it was a great fit, and so luckily we were able to convince him to come over there with me and take that spot.
So both of you guys coming from Holiday, then is Petrolia going to be adapting a lot of the Holiday way of life? I mean, you guys were so successful over there for so many years. As you continue to be successful, Holiday are we going to see I don't want to say mini Holiday, but are we going to see any carryover from Holiday between you and the new offensive coordinator in Petrolia?
Sure, yeah, there will be some carryover. Like I said, they're very successful there.
Yeah.
Coach Johnson, Coach Atwood, and luckily I got to see the way Coach Johnson did it. I got to see the way Coach Atwood did it, and being able to mesh a lot of those things that I've seen done that made Holiday successful. A lot of that will be carried over, and I'm glad Coach Wynn got to come with me to help me establish some of those same things to try to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, for sure.
At Orthopedics Express, our primary focus is delivering exceptional care to patients with orthopedic injuries, such as sprains, strains, broken bones, and joint pain. You'll receive the expert care you need when you need it most. Simply walk in or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Located inside the Center for Advanced Orthopedics, Orthopedics Express is your fast track to orthopedic care.
So, Coach, I know you're new to Petrolia, but I'm pretty sure you've done your research. How many seniors did Petrolia graduate this past season?
Senior-wise, they graduated some big ones. Number-wise, it wasn't a lot, but they graduated a starting running back that was really good, Jordan DeMoss. And what hurt them last year was the injury bug got them. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of those kids are coming back. But senior-wise, they lost 7 or 8 from last year's team.
So speaking of that, let's talk a little bit about offensively and defensively. How many kids you have coming back, and kind of give us some of the key players that you're looking forward to coaching this year.
Sure, yeah. We got about 8 kids coming back on both sides of the ball, which is really good. It was one of the things that I saw that enticed me about the job. Offensively, I feel like we have a solid foundation up front. We have some big kids, big, strong kids that can move.
Give me an opportunity.
Up front.
The coach said I just want to hear what he say something about them big, strong boys.
Oh, yeah. It starts with them big, strong boys.
I wanted to let
front.
him finish saying something before I just give him a praise, because I get excited when you talk about that beef.
Hey, when you run the type of offense that we're wanting to run, that's where it starts, man. You gotta have those hog mollies up front to be able to move it.
And nobody even noticed how deep he got when he was talking about that offensive line. It meant something to him. I almost shouted in here. Hallelujah. Yeah. Praise God. Talk about the whole line again. Coach, say it one more time.
That's what I'm excited about it. I am, because I've seen those dudes in the weight room, and there's some big kids. We got another kid coming back out that went to state in powerlifting last year that'll be on the O-line for us. Skill-wise, we have a lot coming back. Last year, like I said, the injury bug got them. They ended up going 3-7 last year, but they were on like their 5th string quarterback, just because the injury bug got them. And so we got a couple of those guys back. One of those is the quarterback. One of them will be a tailback for us, and I think skill-wise we'll be just as good as we are up front. And I think the offensive scheme that we're wanting to bring in with the flex bone and the wing tee stuff that we're going to kind of mesh together, I think we have the perfect personnel for that. So,
for sure.
Huge.
So while we're talking about that, Coach, we'll talk a little bit of philosophy offensively and defensively. I know that you're coming from the great thing is you did have Coach Johnson, well, I call him one of the gurus of of football.
Oh, yeah.
Wing T guy.
And if he doesn't know it, he'll pretend that he knows.
Yes, for sure, for sure. So you and then also too, a lot of times I think he doesn't get the credit sometimes, and Coach Tucker has been one of the best defensive minds
Absolutely.
around this area. So being able to be coached up under them two, and then Coach Woods that you got to coach up under last year, what's going to be some of the philosophy that Petrolia do this year, and offensively and defensively?
So defensively, we'll be in a lot of the stuff that me and Coach Tucker ran at Holiday. We're going to base out of a 3-4, and we'll mix in some 3-3 stack stuff. What I was able to learn under Coach Corey Atwood was some different coverages and stuff that we can mix in. Not that we didn't mix coverages before, but just some extra stuff, some extra twists that we can add to it that we ran out of the 4-2-5 look last year. That we can mix in and incorporate into our 3-4 kind of stuff, which I think will be good. And then offensively, we're wanting to, be even, but at the snap of the ball, have as many dudes on one side of the ball as we can get. A lot of buck sweeps and counters and all that good stuff that you see out of the flex bone and stuff like that. With the size of school that we have and the amount of kids that we have, we're going to have to adjust it some. But our plan is, to go fast and especially defensively. That's we're worried. We're trying to get as much speed on the field as we can, and try to run a stunt every play and see if we can make something happen. And same thing on the offense.
Yes, sir. So, Coach, real quick, just to give, and I know you're still learning the kids and things like that, but we like to try to give a little bit of shout out, not just to everybody, but what's some key players by name, because we want everybody to know about Petrolia. Who's some of the key players that you think could be either leadership or just do great things for Petrolia this season?
Sure, yeah, like you said, it starts up front, and so we got an all-district lineman coming back in Brady Wood. Senior center that's going to be the leader of our offense, really, the anchor. And some of the bigger kids I was talking about that are big and strong up front are Ethan Hawley, Rasty Washburn, that are going to be able to move some people for us up there.
Say that name again.
Rasty Washburn.
That sounds like an old line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rasty
yeah.
McNasty.
That's a football.
Yeah,
That's a
Rasty,
football
yep.
The
name.
all-football
it is.
team name again.
I do like
That's
that
him.
one though.
Yeah,
Rasty
Rasty
McNasty.
That's his
Rasty
name.
McNasty.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna have a sign out there.
Oh, man. And he's I'm going to have to talk him down
Please tell me he
if
has
he
a
listens
mullet.
to this.
Please tell me he wears a mullet.
His name's Rasty. He's got a mullet. Come on now.
Hey.
Come on now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Great kid, great family. But oh yeah, he'll be big for
My
us
new
up
favorite
front.
player.
And
I'm putting him on my fantasy team.
Definitely.
I don't care if he's an old line.
yeah, he'll impress some people this year. He'll move some people. Skill wise, we got senior Tegan Swinson. Will probably be our fullback. Just a strong, stout, fast kid that loves hitting people. I talked to him about, hey man, we got 7-on-7 this week. Coach,
That ain't football.
That ain't
I don't get
football.
to hit nobody.
That ain't football. I don't get to hit anybody. Well, we can go ahead and you can go ahead and come out and run your swing route anyways. How about that? And then an athlete we got coming back, Brody Jackson, that tore his ACL last year. He'll be a sophomore. A great kid, great looking kid, fast, strong. And then some other kids, Kason G will be a sophomore, probably the fastest kid that we have on campus, super quick. And then Ramsey Hensley will be a tight end split out for us. He's 6'5", 6'6", that we can be a threat out there too if we need to lob one up and he's one of those guys. He's team first. He don't mind coming down on the tight end spot and just caving people down too. So it fits in perfectly with the scheme that we want to do.
So, Coach, going off the grid with this question, you said you coached 13 years and this is your first head job.
Mm-hmm.
I know Coach grabbed a little bit. I haven't had the chance to get to know Coach Johnson personally. So just talk about how those two guys have influenced your coaching career.
Yeah, they're both workers, and they instill that in the people who work for them. And I think that's the best thing that I can say that I've learned from them is how to put in the work that you need. Coach Gravitt going through when we were working at Petrolia before, Zai was just in junior high and Zage was playing top of Texas. And I'll tell you, Byron would come every morning for junior high. He'd be on time. He'd run the practice. We'd come after school for high school. He's out there running the practice. When the high school was over, he was out the top of Texas practice. He was coaching those kids up till 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And, on Saturday, he's going to be at the top of Texas game. And it was just about the kids. And you could just tell in everything he did that that's what it was about. So just that hard work and putting the kids first and just getting the job done was probably the biggest thing I picked up from Coach Gravett. And that continued on in working with Coach Johnson as far as, hey, when I say no BS, if you know Coach Johnson, you know that's a lie. But when I say no BS when it comes from here's your job and you get it done, that's what it is. And that's what made us successful in a lot of cases was that's the mentality that went on to the kids as well. And they took on that personality. So being able to shape the kids in the manner and behavior that you want them to act in is probably the biggest thing I picked up from Coach Johnson.
The Realtor We Trust is Kim Roark, given to others with love. Kim was raised in this community and has been selflessly serving for over 20 years. Kim encourages everyone to thrive in their purpose. Kim is part of the Homes for Heroes program, where she gives back a portion of her commissions from each closing to all military, firefighters, law enforcement, healthcare, and educators who use her services. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kim is the realtor for you. Go check out the website at homesforheroes.com. Since starting from scratch in 2020 by longtime resident of Clay County, Bob Belcher, Duck Creek Disposal has quickly become one of the most trusted waste disposal service and dumpster rental companies serving the 940 community and the surrounding areas. Local to the core, they take immense pride in being a part of the Wichita Falls community. Duck Creek Disposal's deep roots mean that every customer is treated like a neighbor. Their promise is to guarantee the best customer experience in the area, and they live by it. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or business, they've tailored their services to suit varied requirements. Bob's hands-on approach and belief in personal connection means that when you call Duck Creek Disposal, you're experiencing a standard of service that Bob himself envisioned. You talk to real people, not a machine. Go give Bob a call at 940-257-5660. Serving the 940 community for 12 years, Allegiance Electric and Controls is the trusted go-to for commercial and industrial electrical solutions. Contact them for reliable, tailored services to keep your operations running smoothly. Please call or visit their website at aecllc.com. For all your paving and concrete needs, we trust Freeman Paving, LLC. Located in Vernon, Texas, Freeman Paving is our recommended business for concrete, paving, and dirt work. They have over 20 years of experience working right here in our community. Next time you need any concrete work, give them a call, 940-552-9496. If you're looking to treat yourself to a delicious dessert, then Yogurt Journey is the place to be. Yogurt Journey offers 12 delicious flavors of frozen yogurt with over 60 topping options. If you want something warm instead, stop by to enjoy an amazing funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried brownies, or fried candy. Yogurt Journey also offers frozen yogurt rolls, waffle frozen yogurt rolls, and smoothies. If you need a cake for your next celebration, Yojo provides custom frozen yogurt cakes. Yogurt Journey is located on Kemp Street across from Barwise Middle School and is open daily from 12 to 9 p.m. For all your roofing related needs, we choose Assured Roofing and Construction. At Assured Roofing and Construction, their hard work is based off honesty, loyalty, and integrity, ensuring that every customer gets what they deserve and is happy and stress-free throughout the entire process. When any storm damage occurs to your roof, gutters, fencing, or siding, Assured will have you covered and help you from the initial free inspection to filing your claim, meeting with adjusters, and getting your damaged property fixed properly. Give AJ a call at 940-782-1194. That's pretty nice. You talk about that, it easily segues into a question that I've only asked a couple coaches who've kind of mentioned that thing, and especially in this situation where it's your first year, you get a chance to really enforce, Coach Brad Blassingame's mentality, his how he's going to run things, his culture.
Sure.
How do you, or how far down the line do you plan to reach your? Are you going to sixth grade? Are you going to be? Are you showing up at Top of Texas football games? Are you what's your game plan, other than your varsity team? What are you going to bring to the younger kids?
Sure. Starting with junior high school stuff. I'm big on establishing it to where all of our coaches are at every practice at every level. I'm running the defensive practices for the 7th grade. Coach Wynn is running the offensive practices for the 7th grade. They're getting that same coaching from bottom to top.
Very good.
And so within the school there, just junior high and high school, we try to instill that to where, hey, it's all important. These guys are our next guys. They're our next varsity. So we have to build those kids, and we want to instill, if you can get them young, playing fast and working hard, it's so much easier when they get to high school because they know what to expect. They know what you want them to do, and it just makes it easier. At Top of Texas, I'll be there. Now, I'll say I have to be there. My daughter's a cheerleader for Top of Texas, so I am required to be at those things. And the biggest part of me, not to take away from the football game, but the best 5 minutes of those games is during halftime.
Yeah.
When you get to hear the mashups, but no, and we got a camp just next week for all of our Top of Texas guys to come up and work with our high school coaches and bringing in the Top of Texas coaches too, to come in and help us run those camps, see the drills that we like to do, chalk talk with those guys, and just develop those kids from the bottom to the top. So.
Very cool.
That's great. That's how you get a city behind you or a town behind you. So you were a late hire, so you may not have got to do your your non-district schedule, but could you tell us about it?
Yeah, it was already established before I got there. We will start with Chico. No, I'm sorry. We'll start with Era. We go to Era and take on the Hornets there. And then from there, we have our homecoming against the Olney Cubs, my alma mater, coming to town. Yep.
You got people mad at you?
Yeah,
at home?
I'm sure. They haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure they will be. And then after that, we play sorry, I'm drawing a blank. We go to Quanah. Quanah comes to us and take on the Indians there. And I know they got a new head coach there, so that'll be interesting, seeing early in the season of adjusting to what they're running now, and they're adjusting to what we're running now. And so, the few years we played them in the past, that's kind of out the window because it'll be new schemes all across the board. And then after that, we have Chico coming to town. So Coach Mitch over there, he always gets them going, and so we know they'll be. I'm sorry, at Haskell, he gets them going over there too. So,
So that seems to be the theme of. And I know you didn't do your non-district schedule, but playing a tough non-district schedule to prepare yourself for district.
Right.
Do you know? I say I know you do, but how did the Petrolia Pirates district change? Did they go up? Did they come down? Did they get new opponents for district?
It stayed pretty much the same.
Okay.
Tell
us about it.
It's a 17 district, and so we got 6 other dudes we got to play in there. It's going to be a tough district. We have Winthorst in there. Who will be a heavy favorite. They have lots returning. Coach Tackett does a great job with those guys over there. Coach Lloyd at Seymour will have a good team as well with his son at quarterback. And so they'll be hard to stop defensively. And then after that, we got Electra, who is all, they're up and down sometimes, but they've had a good team recently. They have some athletes there that they've had contribute, and so Archer City, who has had great runs the past couple years, good teams. Coach Ritchie does a great job with those guys over there too, and so it's going to be a tough district. Monday, moving up, competing with some bigger schools, staying in that 11-man football is always interesting, and that'll be different for me because when I was at Petrolia before, they had the DePauls and the LJ Colliers, and so in my mind, at Monday's always a powerhouse in my mind. So it'll be interesting. You know, I can see a number of different finishes from top to bottom. You know, it will be adjusted to them just as much as they'll be adjusting to us. So I think our district race could get pretty interesting.
So I got a question for you. You lined out all your opponents this year. Is there a game that you have on your schedule that you have circled? Or is there a rivalry game that I know you're probably new? Well, not necessarily new because you were there before,
Right.
but
Yeah.
who's Petrolia's rival? Would you say?
The biggest game I have circled is Week 10 against Windthorst. In my mind, I'm hoping to go into that game playing for a district championship. You know, just like every other team is in the state of Texas right now. My plan is we're going
right
into
now
that
you're
game.
undefeated.
Right now we're undefeated. My plan is to be playing Windthorst Week 10 for that district championship. So
Awesome.
I got that one circled.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's funny. He said that I was out in Petrolia actually this Saturday doing some stuff for Coach Zach, the director out there at Top of Texas. He's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a lot of good stuff for them. And that's what they were giving me the this is the plug for Petrolia right here. If you want some good food on Friday nights, they started some good stuff out there. They got some good cooks. They don't do your normal concession stand. They said they have ribs, brisket.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, concession stand? I said, I'm going to have to detour to go.
I might have to miss a couple Friday nights.
You know, go to Petrolia. But they all said that the Windthorst game is the big game out there in Petrolia. Like, when Windthorst come in the house, that's a big game for them. So they considered that the same thing.
Yep.
So, Coach, I've started asking this question now. It's a new question. What will Petrolia swag look like this year? What's y'all's combinations that y'all can get pretty swaggy with this up and coming season?
Man, I think this year, I think our best combination is going to be when we murder it out and go black on black. We got some new black on blacks that we're ready to break out.
It's always white on white or black on black. That's
Yeah.
It's never done.
That's just what it is, and they're always the best.
Okay, you said
yeah,
they got
we-
the black on black.
We got some new ones that we're
Okay.
ready to break
Any
out.
orange in that black?
Very little, just around the lettering, just the outline. The lettering is white, but there's not a whole lot of. It just says romp on the back. So
Okay.
the rest is just the numbers with a little bit of orange around it. But that's it.
That'd be sweet. What does ROMP stand for?
Roll on, Mighty Pirates, baby.
Oh,
Okay.
we got us
Oh, yeah.
another one.
Okay. Roll on.
Is that new?
No,
No?
it's been there since.
My bad.
I don't,
Sorry,
I don't know,
Petroleum.
1927, something like that.
Well, we got to get a hat then. We got to get a wrong hat.
So, Coach,
Press your ride during the Thrill of Summer sales event at Nissan of Wichita Falls. Come see our great lineup of new Nissans, including the all-new Nissan Rogue and the new 2024 Nissan Frontier. Nissan of Wichita Falls has a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles and a service staff of certified Nissan technicians, backed by the best parts department in Texoma. We're locally owned and operated with a sales team you can trust at Nissan of Wichita Falls.
I'm going to get to my favorite question of the evening, the best question there is. It's called the Big O Special. And this guy here just be hating on my special. You know, for all my fans out there, man, tell Jeff to quit
Are
doing
you giving
that.
them fries and a milkshake, or is it three-piece?
No, I'm giving them a full course on this one.
okay.
Full course. So the first part of the question, Coach, is what's your favorite place to eat at in Petrolia?
You got to go with Holies. Got to go with Holies. I mean, there's not a lot of options. It's there or the grocery
How
store.
do you know?
But-
all of
knows
these-
them all,
But you
man.
can't
All these small
underestimate.
Well, I can't tell y'all why.
Holies
Ask
for
me off
Holies.
the air how I be on. But so, what's your favorite thing to eat there?
Oh man, just the classic bacon cheeseburger with French fries, man.
I like
It's-
their fries. The way they prepare the fries is real good.
Yeah, it's just your classic hole in the wall place, man. But you can't.
I don't.
These dudes, they hate.
My go-to is the bacon cheeseburger, but they got a pirate burger there. There's a bacon cheeseburger with some fried ham on there. That's hard to beat too.
Yeah, that'd be hard to get before a
sounds
game.
good.
So,
Oh,
Coach,
yeah.
so what's your favorite pregame meal?
Man, pregame, I don't need a whole lot. Usually the nerves are going, so I don't need a whole lot. But usually just try to down a few Powerades and eat some peanut butter crackers, and then try to make it to the end of the game, and then try to find me a good old-fashioned gut bomb allsup's burrito somewhere.
Yeah.
Beef and bean.
Beef and bean with some taco sauce on
My
it.
man.
Okay. So the last part of that
That's
question.
a popular.
Oh yeah, that beef and bean go hard. I'm a chimney guy too, though. I just like everything.
No chimneys, bro.
Yeah,
No chimneys.
You know, chimney's all right.
No.
The chicken chimney, they got the new
That's
chicken
your
chimney.
button.
It's
I'm
pretty
putting a
good.
picture on that button of you.
And pretty soon, Jeff's going to be disappearing. If you don't stop. So the last part of the question is, Coach, is what is something that you guys, well, I guess this will be your first year in Petrolia from a while, but what's something that you can see being something that you like to feed the kids before games?
To feed the kids before the games, I'll tell you something we did. You know, it's not real classy or anything, but we did at Holiday with Coach Atwood. Man, was just a plain old ham and cheese. And that, you know, it's hard to go wrong with that. And, you know, we would take the stuff, the kids would slap it together. And if they wanted a couple of them, they'd throw them together. But that's, to me, I mean, that's as good as it gets pregame right there. Just a cold ham and cheese before you head out.
I get like a manwich.
Yep.
I call it a manwich. 3 pieces of bread.
Oh, yeah.
2 sets of meat
like
and cheese.
like a Shaggy and Scooby.
Yeah.
Just stack it up.
That's what I get.
That's the same thing we do or we have done at Ryder. So, Coach, with this being your first year, let's talk about what do you feel like your strength will be this upcoming year?
I think it's going to be that these kids have played together their whole life. Mm-hmm. That's one of the benefits of a small town like Petrolia, is that these kids have played together since they were in 1st and 2nd grade. They've know each other. They know each other's grandmas and grandpas, and so it's just one big family over there. And so to get them to play hard for each other is not a difficult thing to do. And so I think having that already built in is a huge help.
And I know you said your goal is to be playing Week 10 Windthorst for the district championship. What other goals do you have in mind for the Petrolia Pirates? I know maybe even a playoff berth since those guys missed out on the playoffs this past season.
Yep. Playoff berth is first on our checklist. Try to get that, and a playoff win. Mm-hmm. It's been a few seasons since that has happened. I think we have the dues to do it. If we can stay healthy, and I think playoff win is on the checklist. Try to get a couple of those under our belt. I think, like I've said before, I think we have the kids to do it. I think we have a good scheme that matches those kids, and so I think all of those goals are feasible for us.
I got a quick question. Do you guys have a strength and conditioning coach?
We have a strength and conditioning coordinator. It is not a standalone strength and conditioning coach. A lot of it is a mix between what I've always done, what Coach Wynn has always done, and then a lot of the stuff we've stolen from Coach Heron at Holiday now, their strength and conditioning coach. We brought a lot of his stuff over, and Coach Atwood and Coach Heron were great about, hey, here's our stuff, take it.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
And so we were able to adopt a lot of the things that we've been doing at Holiday and put those in place. Some of them, is what we did at Holiday before, how we adapt it to the amount of kids that we have, to the size of our weight room and things like that. And so mixing all those things together, I think we've come up with a good strength and conditioning program for our guys. But no, we don't have a standalone guy. But
so, Coach, one thing I wanted to ask, this will be my last question for you. How has some workouts been going? What's your participation levels been looking like in Petrolia with the kids coming out to summer workouts?
It's been good. There's up weeks and down weeks, especially at a school, that only has 130 kids total. But we've been staying, around between, mid-20s every day, which is good for us. Like I said, it's a good blue-collar, hard-working community. So a lot of those guys aren't at workouts, but they're out throwing hay every day, or they're working cattle, or they're doing something, and so numbers, and even with that, our numbers have still been decent for this summer. So
yes, sir.
Very good. So man, you guys got anything else?
No, sir.
No, this has been great. I appreciate your time. I'm
Thank
sorry.
y'all for having me.
Sorry, I texted the wrong.
No, you're
number.
okay. You're okay. I figured it out.
So it's on.
I said
it's
at
on
some
me.
point somebody's going to come down here and see me in this Petrolia hat and tell me where to go.
So do you have anything for us, or?
No, I appreciate you guys having us on, man. And getting exposure to all these kids is what it's about, and y'all are doing that. And so our mamas love it. When they can open up Facebook and see their baby on Facebook there, and people are talking about them. And so just promoting the game around this area, because there's a lot of good football in this area, and I just appreciate y'all guys putting this together and having me here to talk with you guys. So
Yeah, no problem. I mean, that's our goal. We all have the common goal of exposure for the kids. That's what we came together to do. We like to think we're doing an okay job at least, but you're right when you talk about moms. They're the ones. I mean,
Yeah,
that is
that's-
our driving force.
I mean,
that's the number one rule.
for me as a
keep the
videographer
mamas
who
happy.
makes money off of moms. I mean, I told my wife, I was like, I need a hat that says "I love sports moms," and she's like, "Why would you wear that?" I'm like, because they're the ones who want videos of their kids.
Get
oh
my
yeah,
baby.
you gotta
Did you
get
see
my
that?
baby in there.
Yeah. So, man, we really appreciate you coming out. Like I said before, I mean, we don't have the means to get out to every field, but we do appreciate you coming, and we're rooting for Petrolia Pirates.
Thank you.
We're excited about your first year. I think we didn't really cover them because we started with basketball, but
Sure.
but this is our first go at football season.
Yeah.
So if there's anything we can do to help, or we may be reaching out to you and say,
Okay.
hey, Coach Blassingame, can you get us some stat sheets, or can you get us, this or that, or maybe some video or something that we can, because our goal is exposure to those kids.
Yeah, you bet, man. Anything that we can get that stuff out there, and you just let me know, and we'll send it your way, man. We're here for the kiddos. So
that's the same. So if you guys don't have anything else, then that's a wrap for
That'll do it.
Petrolia Pirates
All
and
right,
Coach
guys.
Blassingame.
I appreciate
We
it.
appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thank you so
You
much.
bet.